A 10 floor, 20 floor, 22 floor, and 100 floor capacitor are in parallel. The total capacitance is A 2.43 F, B 4.86 F, C 100 floor, D 152 floor. The correct answer is 152 floor. A capacitor and a resistor are connected in series to a sine wave generator. The frequency is set so that the capacitive reactance is equal to the resistance and thus an equal amount of voltage appears across each component. If the frequency is increased, A VR VC, B VC VR, C VR VC, D VR and VC 0. The correct answer is VR VC. A capacitor of 0.02 F is larger than A 0.000020 F, B 200 000 PF, C 200 PF, D all of the above. The correct answer is 200 PF. In question 6, the capacitor will reach full charge in a time equal to approximately A 6 RC, B 5 RC, C RC, D none of the above. The correct answer is 5 RC. What is the capacitance when Q60C and V12V? A 720 floor, B 5 floor, C 50 floor, D 12 floor. The correct answer is 5 floor. A 0.47 F capacitor is across a 2 kHz sine wave signal source. The capacitive reactance is A 170, B 17, C 0.000169, D 1.7. The correct answer is 170. 0.15 F capacitors are in parallel. The total capacitance is A 0.15 F, B 0.30 F, C 0.6 F, D 0.8 F. The correct answer is 0.6 F. Which of the following capacitors is polarized? A mica, B ceramic, C plastic film, D electrolytic. The correct answer is electrolytic. A capacitor of 200 PF is greater than A 0.02 F, B 0.002 F, C 0.0002 F, D 0.000002 F. The correct answer is 0.0002 F. A 220 resistor is in series with a 2.2 F capacitor. The time constant is A 48 S, B 480 S, C 2.42 S, D 24 S. The correct answer is 480 S. A 4.7 M resistor is in series with a 0.015 F capacitor. The combination is across a 12V source. How long does it take the capacitor to fully charge? A 35 ms, B 352 ms, C 3.5 s, D 70.5 ms. The correct answer is 352 ms. A sine wave voltage is applied across a capacitor. When the frequency of the voltage is decreased, the current A increases, B remains constant, C decreases, D ceases. The correct answer is decreases. Of the following capacitors, which one has the highest dielectric constant? A air, B mica, C glass, D paper. The correct answer is glass. A 0.01 F capacitor equals how many picofarads? A 100 pf, B 100 pf, C 10,000 pf, D 100,000 pf. The correct answer is 10,000 pf. A 12 kHz voltage is applied to a 0.33 F capacitor and 200 mA of RMS current is measured. What is the value of the voltage? A 8V, B 80V, C 80 mV, D 800 mV. The correct answer is 8V. A 0.00022 F capacitor equals how many microfarads? A 2 floor, B 220 floor, C 200 floor, D 200 floor. The correct answer is 220 floor. Two series capacitors, one 2 floor, the other of unknown value, are charged from a 24V source. The 2 floor capacitor is charged to 16V and the other to 8V. The value of the unknown capacitor is A 1 floor, B 2 floor, C 4 floor, D 8 floor. The correct answer is 4 floor. A 330 pF capacitor and a 220 pF capacitor are each connected across a 6V DC source. The voltage across the 330 pF capacitor is A 3V, B 6V, C 4V, D 0V. The correct answer is 6V. A 2 floor, a 4 floor and a 10 floor capacitor are connected in series. The total capacitance is less than A 2 floor, B 4 floor, C 10 floor, D 1.5 F. The correct answer is 1.5 F. When the plate area of a capacitor increases, A, the capacitance increases, B, the capacitance decreases, C, the capacitance is unaffected, D, the voltage it can withstand increases. The correct answer is the capacitance increases. Two 0.68 F capacitors are connected in series across a 10 kHz sine wave signal source. The total capacitive reactance is A 46.8, B 4.68, C 23.41, D 11.70. The correct answer is 46.8. An uncharged capacitor and a 1K resistor are connected in series with a switch and a 6V battery. At the instant the switch is closed, the voltage across the capacitor is A 6V, B 3V, C 2V, D 0V. The correct answer is 0V. When the voltage across a capacitor is tripled, the stored charge A triples, B is cut to 1/3, C stays the same, D doubles. The correct answer is triples. In a 20V AC series RC circuit, if 20V is measured across the resistor and 40V is measured across the capacitor, the applied voltage is A 45V, B 50V, C 55V, D 60V. The correct answer is 45V. When is a capacitor fully charged? A, when the voltage across its plates is of the voltage from ground to one of its plates. B, when the current through the capacitor is the same as when the capacitor is discharged. C, when the voltage across the plates is 0.707 of the input voltage. D, when the current through the capacitor is directly proportional to the area of the plates. The correct answer is when the current through the capacitor is the same as when the capacitor is discharged. What is the angle theta value for a 5.6 F capacitor and a 50 ohm resistor in series with a 1.1 kHz 5V AC source? A 27.3 degrees, B 62.7 degrees, C 27.3 degrees, D 62.7 degrees. The correct answer is 27.3 degrees. When a 4.7 F capacitor is connected to a 1 kHz source, what is its capacitive reactance? A 4.7 ohms, B 29.5 ohms, C 34 ohms, D 213 ohms. The correct answer is 34 ohms. What is the total capacitance? A 1 floor, B 12 floor, C 0.615 F, D 8 floor. The correct answer is 12 floor. What is this circuit? A band pass filter, B high pass filter, C low pass filter, D differentiator. The correct answer is high pass filter. After which time constant can a capacitor be considered to be fully charged? A first, B third, C fifth, D seventh. The correct answer is fifth. You could increase the time constant of an RC circuit by A. Adding a resistor in parallel with the circuit resistance, B. Adding a capacitor in parallel with the circuit capacitance, C. Increasing the amplitude of the input voltage, D. Exchanging the position of the resistor and capacitor in the circuit. The correct answer is adding a capacitor in parallel with the circuit capacitance. A capacitor's rate of charge is considered A. Magnetic, B. A current block, C. Linear, D. Exponential. The correct answer is exponential. A resistor and an output capacitor form a series circuit with a square wave applied. The circuit is A. An integrator, B. A differentiator, C. A multiplier, D. A divider. The correct answer is an integrator. If an open capacitor is checked with an ohmmeter, the needle will A. Stay on 0, B. Stay on infinity, C. Move from 0 to infinity, D. Move from infinity to 0. The correct answer is stay on infinity. What is the circuit's total current? A. 4.57 mA, B. 9.327 mA, C. 11.570 mA, D. 13.830 mA. The correct answer is 4.57 mA. As a capacitor is being charged, current flowing into the capacitor will A. Increase, B. Decrease, C. Remain the same, D. Cannot tell. The correct answer is decrease. What is the phase shift between the voltage across the resistor and the voltage from the source? A. VR leads Vs by 17, B. VR leads Vs by 73, C. VR lags Vs by 73, D. VR lags Vs by 17. The correct answer is VR leads Vs by 73. A capacitor stores energy within a dielectric between the conducting plates in the form of A. A magnetic field, B. Positive voltage, C. Negative voltage, D. An electric field. The correct answer is an electric field. As a capacitor is being charged, the voltage across its terminals will A. Increase, B. Decrease, C. Remain the same, D. Oppose the source. The correct answer is increase. With a 500 kHz signal source, what would be the value of a capacitor yielding a capacitive reactance of 1 K? A. 318 pF, B. 2 Nf, C. 3.18 F, D. 2 floor. The correct answer is 318 pF. After a capacitor has charged for 1 Tc, what percentage of current remains in the resistor? A. 63.2, B. 36.8, C. 13.5, D. 5.0. The correct answer is 36.8. If a current of 40 mA flows through a series circuit consisting of a 0.4 F capacitor and a resistor in series with a 4 kHz 40 V AC source, what is the total circuit impedance? A. 10, B. 100, C. 1K, D 1 M. The correct answer is 1K. In an AC circuit, an output capacitor and a resistor are connected in series with an AC signal. What filter action will be the result? A. Band pass. B. Low pass. C. High pass. D. Band stop. The correct answer is low pass. What is the total opposition to current in a series RC circuit called? A. Impedance. B. Inductance. C. Reactance. D. Resistance. The correct answer is impedance. Which of the following statements is true? A. The voltage to which a capacitor is charged can change instantaneously. B. The current in a capacitive circuit takes time to change. C. A fully charged capacitor appears as a short to DC current. D. An uncharged capacitor appears as a short to an instantaneous change in current. The correct answer is an uncharged capacitor appears as a short to an instantaneous change in current. In a capacitive circuit, current flow is limited to A. Charging periods. B. Discharging periods. C. Neither charging periods nor discharging periods. D. Both charging periods and discharging periods. The correct answer is both charging periods and discharging periods. What circuit has the following frequency response? A. Band pass filter. B. High pass filter. C. Low pass filter. D. Integrator. The correct answer is low pass filter. A capacitor is constructed of two parallel A. Conductors. B. Semiconductors. C. Inductors. D. Dielectrics. The correct answer is conductors. Which of the following determines the capacitance of a capacitor? A. Plate area, dielectric strength and plate separation. B. Voltage rating, dielectric constant and temperature coefficient. C. Temperature coefficient, plate area and plate separation. D. Plate area, dielectric constant and plate separation. The correct answer is plate area, dielectric constant and plate separation. Most older types of paper capacitors have been replaced by which type of construction? A. Electrolytic. B. Plastic film. C. Oxide casing. D. Waxed paper. The correct answer is plastic film. If C1 a 4.7 F capacitor and C2 a 3.3 F capacitor are in series with 18 V DC applied, what is the voltage across C1? A. 3.3 V. B. 7.4 V. C. 6.6 V. D. 9.4 V. The correct answer is 7.4 V. What is the impedance of a series RC circuit that consists of a 0.22 F capacitor and a 200 ohm resistor connected to a 3 kHz source? A. 214 ohms. B. 313 ohms. C. 414 ohms. D. 880 ohms. The correct answer is 313 ohms. What is the reactance value for a capacitor installed in a DC circuit? A. 0. B. Moderate. C. Infinite. D. Cannot tell. The correct answer is infinite. In a purely capacitive circuit, A. Current leads voltage by 90. B. Voltage leads current by 90. C. Current lags voltage by 90. D. Current and voltage have a phase relationship of 0. The correct answer is current leads voltage by 90. What is the capacitive reactance if I 1 amp V 2 volts C 5 floor and frequency 10 Hz? A. 0.2. B. 0.5. C. 0.02. D. 0.003. The correct answer is 0.003. What is wrong with a leaky capacitor? A. It is open. B. It is shorted. C. The dielectric resistance has increased. D. The dielectric resistance has decreased. The correct answer is the dielectric resistance has decreased. What is the value of a capacitor labeled 102? A 10,000 pf, B 1000 pf, C 1000 floor, D 10,000 floor. The correct answer is 1000 pf. If the dielectric constant of a capacitor is decreased, then its capacitance will A. increase, B. decrease, C. remain the same, D. be destroyed. The correct answer is decrease. What is the dielectric constant for ceramic? A. between 6 and 8000, B. 5.0, C. between 5 and 1000, D. 3000. The correct answer is between 6 and 8000. What is the voltage across a capacitor after being charged from a 100 V source for a period of one time constant? A. 37.8 V, B. 38 V, C. 63 V, D. 101 V. The correct answer is 63 V. What is the DC charging discharging time constant for the circuit? A. 294 ps, B. 13.5 ms, C. 21.25 ms, D. 2.16 Gs. The correct answer is 21.25 ms. Power stored from the source and then returned to the source is called A. apparent power, B. impedance power, C. reactive power, D. true power. The correct answer is reactive power. Capacitor value markings are usually A. alphanumeric, B. color dabs, C. standard, D. white print. The correct answer is alphanumeric. A source voltage across a capacitor will A. lead the current by 90 degrees, B. lead the current by 180 degrees, C. lag the current by 90 degrees, D. lag the current by 180 degrees. The correct answer is lag the current by 90 degrees. An 8 V power source is charging a capacitor. How many volts will be across the capacitor at the second time constant? A. 1 volt, B. 3 volts, C. 5 volts, D. 7 volts. The correct answer is 7 volts. The material used between the plates of a capacitor is called its A. insulation material, B. dielectric material, C. separation material, D. plate divider material. The correct answer is dielectric material. When a circuit consists of a capacitor and a resistor in series with a voltage source and the voltage across the resistor is 0, then the capacitor is A. charging, B. discharging, C. fully charged, D. fully discharged. The correct answer is fully charged. Which material has the highest dielectric strength? A. air, B. paper, C. mica, D. oil. The correct answer is mica. What is the circuit's impedance? A. 1192, B. 843, C. 723, D. 511. The correct answer is 1192. In an AC circuit, a capacitor and an output resistor are connected in series with an AC signal. What filter action will be the result? A. band pass, B. low pass, C. high pass, D. band stop. The correct answer is high pass. What is the impedance of this circuit? A. 5928, B. 2000, C. 192, D. 1798. The correct answer is 5928. What is the reactive power? A 6.8 megawatt, B 9.8 megawatt, C 12.8 megawatt, D 15.8 megawatt. The correct answer is 9.8 megawatt. A practical capacitor. A is a short to DC. B looks like a capacitor in parallel with a resistor. C is an open to AC. D stores energy in a magnetic field. The correct answer is looks like a capacitor in parallel with a resistor. Which of the following is the reference vector for parallel RC circuits? A R, B I, C C, D V. The correct answer is V. What do variable capacitors use for dielectric? A. Ceramic electrolytic mica or paper. B. Air ceramic mica or plastic. C. Ceramic paper plastic or mica. D. Mica ceramic plastic or electrolytic. The correct answer is air ceramic mica or plastic. If a charged capacitor is disconnected from a circuit, it will A. Immediately discharge, B. Recharge, C. Remain charged, D. Leak the charge. The correct answer is leak the charge. What is the total current for a 5 MHz 1V AC circuit that consists of a 27 pF capacitor and a 1 K resistor connected in parallel? A. 459 A, B. 647 A, C. 1.31 mA, D. 1.85 mA. The correct answer is 1.31 mA. What is the value of a capacitor that can store 2 coulombs of charge when 500 volts is applied across its plates? A. 4 floor, B. 250 floor, C. 4000 floor, D. 250 floor. The correct answer is 4000 floor. The strength of an electric field at a given point is proportional to the potential difference on the plates and inversely proportional to the A. Plate separation, B. Negative plate only, C. Field strength, D. Charge difference. The correct answer is plate separation. How is AC current related to AC voltage in a purely capacitive circuit? A. AC current is 0.707 of the AC voltage. B. AC current lags AC voltage. C. AC current is 0.637 of the AC voltage. D. AC current leads AC voltage. The correct answer is AC current leads AC voltage. What is the voltage across the capacitor? A. 7.07 V, B. 1.11 V, C. 111 MV, D. 7.07 MV. The correct answer is 111 MV. For a given charge difference, electrostatic field strength varies according to A. Plate differential, B. Plate area, C. Plate distance, D. Dielectric quantity. The correct answer is plate area. A capacitor has 25 V across its plates and a stored charge of 1500 C. What is the capacitance value? A. 60 pF, B. 60 floor, C. 16.67 mF, D. 37.5 mF. The correct answer is 60 floor. A capacitor and an output resistor form a series circuit with a square wave applied. The circuit is A. An integrator, B. A differentiator, C. A multiplier, D. A divider. The correct answer is a differentiator. Capacitive reactance values connected in series offer A. An increase in total XC, B. A decrease in total XC, C. No change in total XC, D. Total opposition to voltage in the circuit. The correct answer is an increase in total XC. The quantity that represents an ideal capacitor dissipating 0 W of power is A. Instantaneous power, B. True power, C. Reactive power, D. Resistive power. The correct answer is true power. If a capacitor is placed across a 20 V source, what will be the amount of charge after 5 Tc? A. 5.0 V, B. 12.8 V, C. 13.5 V, D. 20 V. The correct answer is 20 V. What is the impedance of an AC/RC parallel circuit if the resistance is 12 ohms and the capacitive reactance equals 5 ohms? A. 0.2 ohms, B. 3.5 ohms, C. 4.6 ohms, D. 13 ohms. The correct answer is 4.6 ohms. What will a one-floor capacitor store? A. 1 coulomb of charge, B. 6.24 x 1012 electrons, C. 1 volt, D. 1 A of current. The correct answer is 6.24 x 1012 electrons. What is the power factor if the apparent power of a circuit is 5 watts while the true power is 4 watts? A. 0.0 watts, B. 0.8 watts, C. 1.0 watts, D. 1.25 watts. The correct answer is 0.8 watts. If the reactive power of a circuit is 50 MW while the apparent power is 64 MW, then what is the true power of the circuit? A. 14 MW, B. 36 MW, C. 40 MW, D. 114 MW. The correct answer is 40 MW.